This video includes audio description throughout.
Hi, I'm Liz Hinckley. I'm the Visitor Centre Coordinator here at Guide Dogs National Breeding Centre, and I'm watching the nicest vlog.
We now see Luke trying to find his seat with a blindfold on, with a blue Guide Dogs for the Blind jumper on, sitting on a black sofa with a beige wall behind him, with two photos of cars on the wall. Hi everyone. Okay, I'm just finding my seat. Come on, Fred. Come on. You'd make an awful guide dog. Come on. Hi guys, and welcome to the nicest vlog. This week I was with Guide Dogs for the Blind for the reason why I've got a blindfold on, so you can see me, but I can't see you, and I'm going to spend all of this video with this on. So this week I spent my week with Guide Dogs for the Blind. I was so excited about this week. I absolutely love dogs, and I was really excited to go down to the National Breeding and Training Centres in Leamington Spa, which isn't that far from Birmingham, so it's not that far from me anyway. And that was how I spent my week. We now see Luke sat in his car, talking directly to the camera. So it's Monday morning, it's about 9 o'clock, and I have just arrived in Leamington Spa at the Guide Dogs for the Blind Puppy Training Centre. Oh, I'm really excited for this week, and I'm just getting over my cold as well, which is happy days. I'm just about to go into the training centre. As you can see, there's a dog there to go and meet Pippa and get the day underway. And I think my first port of call is a blindfolded walk, so let's see how this goes. You guys can see some footage now where I strapped a GoPro camera to my chest, and you can see me doing an assault course of me walking. Forward.
Okay. You'll feel her move to the left, and you just go with her on that. And to see, good girl. And
good girl.
Keep your right arm swinging a little bit as you go. That's it. Keep you relaxed, and it gives her a little bit of encouragement as well. Oh, you're looking lovely and relaxed. That's great. You're keeping that position,
okay,
which means that she can do her job, and it'll all just go smoothly then. She'll just take you round. Yeah, she can do this really. You just feel that they're in quite a set pattern. They're in a nice regular pattern, these obstacles.
Sure.
So we'll just get her to stand.
See Luke sat back on his sofa, talking to the camera with a blindfold on. One thing that has completely blown me away about this week is that it costs about £50,000 for somebody to have a guide dog. From the birth all the way through till the dog's passing, it costs around 50 grand for them to look after that dog. And when the Guide Dogs for the Blind give over a dog, which is a transaction with the blind person who needs the lovely guide dog, is the only 50p, they only charge them 50p to get that dog. Guide Dogs for the Blind make sure that they look after the guide dog for the whole entire life, and what they do is they look after their vet bills and their food bills and everything else that goes along with it to make sure that that dog is cared for in the best way possible. For the rest of the day on my Monday, after doing my blind walk, I then assisted in the kennels where I did some dog grooming and dog looking after, and then washed out some kennels to make sure that they were fully clean to pass on to the next dogs. I must say actually it's really disorienting having a blindfold on and not being able to see where I'm looking and what I'm doing. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because it completely represents all of the people that Guide Dogs for the Blind support. However many people love the cuddly dogs out there and all of the puppies, fundamentally what Guide Dogs for the Blind is it's looking after people who have lost their sight. And I must say, it is incredibly scary and daunting to not be able to see and to have to rely solely on your other senses. Now, Freddie has just walked up, and the only reason I know that is because I heard him coming over and I can feel him. And for blind people, they have absolutely no idea what's going on around them unless they use their other senses, so their hearing and their smell and their touch. And sometimes it can be incredibly scary not knowing where you're going and what you're doing. And that's definitely one thing that I found this week, is that it's one of those things where if you lose your sight or are born blind, it's actually a real huge disadvantage. I mean, personally, I think I'd rather have my leg cut off than lose my eyes. Then on Tuesday I was really lucky and privileged to have been given my guide training, which is a training course that Guide Dogs for the Blind hold to teach people how to assist blind people in the public. So I have my level 1 qualification, which I'm absolutely ecstatic about. So it means that I can go out and assist blind people in the public arena, which I think is a really, really amazing qualification and a really amazing skill to have. Then on Tuesday afternoon I headed back over to Cirencester, where I met an amazing young woman called Lauren. Now Lauren lost her sight at 13 years old. She's now 21, she goes to the University of Gloucestershire.
We now see a shot of Luke sat in a pub with Lauren, with sunglasses on her head, both looking at the camera.
She's in her 3rd year and she's about to graduate. And the main reason that she is doing all of this is because she has her wonderful guide dog Goldie. Now she's had Goldie for about 2 years, and before Goldie she completely isolated herself. She was too scared to go out, she didn't like using her cane, and Goldie has given her a complete new fresh breath of life. So with Goldie she's able to go to university and get her degree and her qualifications. She's also thinking about going on holiday and doing all an amazing things that most blind people would be completely daunted by. And she was such an inspiration that she really has touched my heart. And because of Lauren, I've arranged to do a Dogs Unite walk with her in the summer, and we're going to try and raise £5,000 to name a puppy in honour of Guide Dogs for the Blind, which I think is a really achievable and doable goal, and I want you guys to come and support if you want to. So you're welcome to donate or come and do a dog walk with us if you live in the local area of Gloucestershire.
Now see shots of small tiny puppies playing around the puppy breeding centre.
Then on Wednesday I was very, very lucky and very, very privileged to have gone to the National Breeding Centre to play with the puppies. Now I must stress that this isn't something that everybody is allowed to do, and very, very few people are allowed into the puppy area to go and see the puppies, touch them and play with them. So Wednesday morning I got kitted up in all of my gear and went into the pens and basically sat down for an hour surrounded by tens of puppies, stroking, playing and then feeding them, and I must say it was the most amazing experience so far, and I really didn't want to leave. One thing I also learned is that they have things called puppy socialisers, which are volunteers. These volunteers, primarily job is to just go out and play with the puppies. Now I'm definitely signing up, so when the next volunteer section opens for puppy players, I am on that list. That is my latest goal in life, is to be a puppy socialiser. I must also want to add that there are about 1,400 employees, paid employees of Guide Dogs for the Blind, and there are 14,000 volunteers. These volunteers do everything from puppy socialising to puppy walking. They also hold all of the bitches and the dogs before breeding. They look after the dogs after they've been in their lifetime of being guide dogs. They also look after the pregnant mums and give birth to the puppies at home. These amazing volunteers across the whole of the country really do make Guide Dogs for the Blind, and apparently if they had to pay all of their volunteers minimum wage, it would cost the charity £100 million a year, and considering they only make or raise £47 million, I don't think that they would be able to sustain the business or charity model that they have. So I also just want to say a huge, amazing thank you to all of those incredible volunteers out there that do amazing jobs with the dogs. Thursday was my last day and I was really sad. I spent my day, it wasn't sad because I spent my day at Coventry University talking to amazing students who have set up a society, a Guide Dogs for the Blind society at their Students' Union to help raise and fundraise, and then also went to an amazing specialist school for kids with learning disabilities and visual impairment, where I got to sit in on a sandwich club with some amazing kids, and they actually have a buddy dog. So this is a dog that hasn't made the qualification to be a guide dog, but they are made into buddy dogs and sent into schools to look after kids. Guide Dogs for the Blind have just teamed up with Blind Children UK, so this is an amazing scheme that they're able to push forward and really drive, because there is a huge stigma that Guide Dogs for the Blind provide services for middle-aged, middle-class people in the UK, and actually there is a huge need for guide dogs, and guide dogs can go to young adults as young as 14. So it's one of those things where it's that stigma attached to guide dogs where they're for older people. In actual fact, some of the people that I've met this week are in their teens and their early 20s, and guide dogs have really saved their lives and given them that confidence to go out and be human people again and actually live somewhat of a normal life even though they can't see. So I am just absolutely overwhelmed. My phone's going off, sorry. I am absolutely overwhelmed with how amazing Guide Dogs for the Blind is. I didn't expect it to be anywhere near as amazing as it was, and they do an incredible job at not only raising and breeding and looking after puppies, but homing them with people that genuinely change their lives. And if any point in my life I have any time to go and volunteer again, I will be straight back down to Guide Dogs for the Blind to give my time, because what they've done has really touched me, and I've actually left a small part of my heart with them because they've really touched me in a place that I never thought they would, and emotionally I think what they do is just unbelievable. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed me with a blindfold on and not being able to see. I'm going to take it off now, and I'm going to thank you all for watching. I am with the Royal Society for Prevention of Accidents next week, which is a bit of a mouthful. They are an incredible charity based in Birmingham, so that's where I'm spending my week. The reason why I'm doing my video in the dark, or slightly in the dark, is not only because I've been with Guide Dogs for the Blind, but also because tomorrow I'm actually going to see the Royal Society for Prevention of Accidents at a small meeting on Friday, which means that I'm unable to do my video, so I was going to do it tonight, ready to upload for tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys, and here's to next week. Bye!